Today, from MetLife Stadium in New Jersey, it's Week 12 of the NFL on EA Sports. We'll see Daniel Jones and the New York Giants taking on Jalen Hurts and the Philadelphia Eagles.
We welcome everybody to the Garden State. EA Sports coverage of the NFL finds us at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Philadelphia Eagles and the New York Giants. First go on offense for the Giants under the guidance of Daniel Jones, the former Duke Blue Devil.
And he ought to have a lot of pep in his step after last week's performance because he did exactly as you want him to play if you're a coach. 3 touchdown passes, 0 interceptions, which usually means you're making a lot of right decisions out there.
And got him to win. Jones now throwing on first down. Oh, he's going to take. They got his man complete. And they finally get him down, but not before he reaches the 34. How about a deep ball on the first play from scrimmage, putting that secondary on notice.
Brandon, all I remember when I was a player is that we always took a test the night before the game about teams' tendencies and what they plan to do. I'm not sure we think deep ball right out of the gate and putting us back on our heels.
27-yard line.
A good run got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. Jones with a handoff to Barkley. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 15 yards on the play, first down.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
And he'll be dropped at about the 11 after only a yard.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL, so when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout.
And he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown. Tyler Boyd, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Giants take it right down and score on the opening drive. Looking sharp on that first drive. These guys, of course, coming off back-to-back victories. And you see that kind of advancing into this game, don't you?
You certainly do. And when you have a team that doesn't get too full of itself, even though they've won 2 games in a row, you get the end result that we saw there. That nice opening drive because they're sharp, they're focused, and they're locked into everything that they're doing.
Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. Philly's offense getting ready, and Jalen Hurts ready to lead them. The 2nd-round pick who started his career at Alabama, then finished with an electric senior season at Oklahoma.
Coming off of a loss their last time out, I think he's just seeking to make a bigger impact on the game. Throw a touchdown pass, didn't throw an interception. I think he just wants to jump those numbers up and start flinging it around and letting his receivers get into the end zone.
And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
32-yard line.
That was a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side. They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
It's a gain of 6 on the play, and it's a second down.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Now a man open down the middle of the field. A gain of 6 there on first.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
Second down, here's Jalen Hurts. Hurts fumbles it. But fortunately, he's able to recover. And it's a fumble. And the Giants have it. It's picked up. And now nothing but green ahead of him. The 30. And this is taken into the end zone. A fumble recovery and a Giants touchdown.
Touchdown, Giants.
The defense more than did its job. Now the offense is summoned onto the field as they'll go for 2. Following the fumble recovery, Jones. And he's got it. So the try for 2 successful. And that bumps their lead up even further. And boy, things switched on a dime here. The fumble recovery for the touchdown and also a 2-point try on top successful.
That feels like a momentum call. Pick it up on a fumble return, take it the other way for a touchdown. That's demoralizing for a team to have it happen against them. So the offense just says, you know something? Let's add to it. Pile on top, go for 2 now while their heads are down.
And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there.
26-yard line.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They're down 15-0 here already, needing to jumpstart this offense. 1st and 10. As Sanders there with a first down carry that might have gotten a yard, if that. 2nd down.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
7-yard line.
2nd down. Here's Hurts. And all this is taken in one-handed. What a catch.
Complete.
One-handed. Love the effort.
It's a gain of
Not much
4.
production on that play, though, huh?
Not a whole lot of yardage. You get that grab, you probably want a first down.
And he'll be the one in the film session and be saying, hey, run that one back, coach. Run that one back.
One more time.
Let's see that
2
again.
more time.
And they won't.
8 more times.
They won't. Didn't get much out of it.
And he is going to have an Eagles first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. It's an Eagles first down on a gain of 11.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. Up from his linebacker spot, Deion Jones making the play. 15-0 our score. It's the NFL on EA Sports. Here's Hurts to throw. Finding Knox there, complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half. I like their countenance. I like the way that they're having panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
They'll find Williams on the slant. 11 more on that one and another first down.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
Eluding the pressure right. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's second down.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir. Able to turn that into a positive gain. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher third down looming.
This defense has really flown around in the first half. They've gotten to the ball carrier before they can really get started. Offense got to come up with something else in order to try and get...
Oh, he was looking for Parker, but it's intercepted. Picked off down near the 5. And the return just out across the 15 to the 16-yard line. But no doubt, a very disappointing end to what was a pretty strong opening drive.
They had 3 points in their back pocket. It was there for them. If you don't like what you see, just throw it away. Make sure you get those points on the board. Don't get too greedy. He forced it there. You saw the end result.
And that is caught one-handed. Oh, my, he pulled it in. A big pickup of 38.
Press coverage on the outside, and for defenders, that's the ultimate risk-reward. If you take the risk, can you reward yourself by keeping them on the line of scrimmage? But no, not on that one. Got to step on him. Now it's just a matter of laying the ball out there for him to go get it.
A first down carry for Barkley. And he was able to shed 1 tackle but could not get away from there. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Well, from an offensive perspective, that was a tough run because he only picked up 3 yards. But let's flip it over to the defensive side. They now have the advantage. 3 3-yard gains. That means they're punting the ball likely on 4th down. That's what you're looking for when you're playing defense.
7 yards there and a first down. On first down, Barkley. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. 10 yards, good for a giant first down. Seemed like a couple sets of eyes were on the quarterback, so he decided, hey, I'm going to hand this off. Got a good gain out of it.
And you know you need good blocking up front in order to gain yardage, but every one of these RPOs, if you do it right and they look the same, whether it's handed off inside or the quarterback keeps it, that allows you to fool the defense so often. And in this case, fooled them with the inside run.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11.
First down.
They'll run on first down. Barkley. And he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. Saquon Barkley, his 14th touchdown now on the year. And the Giants are able to add on to their lead. Great call to hand that one off, and his running back did the rest.
Someone read their keys correctly, and on the defensive side of the ball, they certainly did not, because they really essentially were just going to swarm the quarterback. They kind of guessed themselves out of the play, and guess who benefited? The guy with the football.
Sanchez now, he'll kick it away following the touchdown. Fielded near the back of the end zone. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. Here comes Eagle offense now as they get set to take over here. To this point, the results have not been good. 2 possessions, 2 turnovers.
And that's obviously something that can't continue, but to go a little bit deeper on that one, I would think about some play calls now, not even necessarily to my best player, but to someone I can trust with the ball. Try and get things settled down a little bit.
He'll have a first down past the 40 as they finally wrangle him in at the 48. 1:55 left to go in the first half of play. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds.
Out of bounds.
So he's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it, and
the ball comes out, but this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same.
Complete to Miles Sanders.
You can almost see inside his face mask there the look of relief. He coughed it up, but it goes out of bounds. They keep it.
Someone carrying around a lucky horseshoe, aren't they? If I were him, I'd go out and play the lottery after that one. A very fortunate man.
And they're operating in plus territory here. They're thinking points. Definitely don't want to lose the football. And he can't get away from the pressure. The Giants get there. Dexter Lawrence just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7.
This offensive line has struggled. In fact, when we sat down with the coach, he said it's been in tatters lately. They allowed 6 sacks in their last game. Just gave up another one right there.
In tatters, so it sounds a little bit like this right now.
Exactly. It's like that paper being ripped. And right now, they've got to find a way to get it back together.
Trying to lay one up deep. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
There is something to a game plan with trying to keep a defense honest. With a guy with that type of speed, you do so. Send him deep. Try and throw some air under it and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they run successful.
Pilardi now on to punt as he sends this one away.
The Giants take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
Saquon Barkley and the Giants offense set to kick off their next drive. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the second quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated, because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Now Jones. He's going to air one out. And that is caught. He's got it for a Giant touchdown. A big play there. With a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Giants add on to their lead.
That score that they just gave up there, that's a tough one for their defense to swallow, because they've had a tough time through the first 2 quarters. They really were determined to get a stop there. Unable to do so, that makes their comeback hopes that much more difficult.
They'll give it to the fullback up the middle. And he will bull his way in there for the 2 points.
The score, Giants 30.
Nothing fancy there on that 2-point try. Give it to the big boy, let him go to work.
That almost felt like sandlot football that we used to play, didn't it? Biggest guy on your team who can carry the ball, hand it to him and let him rumble.
Nobody picked me on the sandlot football team.
You were quarterback, and I know better.
I was the water boy. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25.
25-yard line.
The Eagles coming out as they get ready. And you have to figure they won't just sit on the football here in the final minute. The way things have gone, they need to try to make something happen offensively.
But maybe they should. Maybe they should sit on it here because of what you just said. They haven't made anything happen offensively. Getting ready to go into the half, give them a chance to take a deep breath, exhale a little bit, and start over. I don't know if this is the time to push it myself.
Yeah, right now under 100 yards of total offense. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. So the big play moves him all the way across midfield. It's 1st and 10 from the 45. Hurts sets up to throw it. And he will find his man on the end route. Complete. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. 2nd down at 6 now from the 42. Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. And he's got it. Got his man on the end route. Complete. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. You want the 3rd quarter already? No problem. Let's do it.
Rigoberto Sanchez set to kick off.
It's the Eagles ready to see the football first, and they trail here as we resume action in this 3rd quarter. Fielded near the back of the end zone, and the half will begin with a touchback. Out come the Eagles now as they'll go on offense first here in the 3rd quarter. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. And the giant rush gets home as down he goes. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
It's a 2nd down run with Sanders. And the window closes quickly. He'll only get up to the 22-yard line. Now we've got a giant player here slow to get up after that last play. We'll get an update when we return to MetLife Stadium. From the gun, it's Hurts. It's Knox, the tight end, making the catch. And this effort will not get it done. He stopped well short of the 1st down at the 29.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver, where he was going, and then they're able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of a 1st down.
So possession goes over here on the punt, and it'll be Giant football 1st and 10. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. Throwing, Jones. Limited running room as he'll get about 3 to the 21. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Looking to throw. Jones. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And that's caught inside the 30. And they finally do get him, but not before he reaches the 27.
That's a 27-yard.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back when it's one-on-one and the ball's in the air like that.
And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. All right, I got to ask you, with these RPOs, essentially the quarterback has 3 options, right? So what's different from that versus the triple option that we see the service academies run at the college level?
As a general rule, the triple option at the college level, most things are called outside of the quarterback faking it to the runner and then keeping it himself and maybe having a trail back. What I mean is, in the NFL, that option to throw the football all comes about organically. It's a natural deal based on reads. In college, if you're going to throw the football for triple option, you've actually called that play.
And he'll be stopped up after only a couple of yards as he gets it down to the 5. He's hit pay dirt a lot this year, but not that time.
Yeah, I'm tracking right there with you. You're exactly right. He's found the end zone plenty of times. No way I can find any fault with the call. He may not have scored there, but of course you're going to give it to him.
Back to throw. Jones. And that's knocked away and incomplete. Tre'Davious White, the LSU man, there to knock it away that time.
They really had a good drive going there, but a nice recovery by the defense these past few downs, able to knock that one away on 3rd down and bring up what I think for the offense, an unexpected 4th down here.
Facing this big first-half deficit, they keep the field goal unit on the sideline. They're going for it. Looking to throw. Jones. And he'll get it only to about the 3 and no further as they stop him. The running play does not work from the 5 on 4th and goal. And this Eagle defense stands tall down near the goal line. Though certainly not the way that they were hoping that possession would end, failing to convert on 4th.
And now they've got to make sure that they keep their poise, they keep their confidence. Just because it didn't work once doesn't mean if they get that same situation later that they shouldn't go for it again. The defense feels great, but the offense, they can't be despondent.
They start on the ground here at Sanders. And he'll take this up to about the 7 or 8 yard line. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
I think they're ahead of schedule now after that run. They might be bold with this 2nd down call after that type of a gain.
They'll go again with Sanders. Showed some strong running, but quickly corralled just beyond the 10-yard line. Still a couple yards short of the 1st as the 3-yard gain brings up a 3rd down. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Throwing is Hurts. Yeah, that one's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Good coverage that time by the linebacker, Deion Jones.
The passing windows are just not there. That's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
Let's take it inside his own 40. It'll be a 47-yard punt with a net of 40 following a 7-yard return. And out will come the offense as they take over. The offense takes the field, and we turn our attention to Saquon Barkley. He's had a good performance, moved the ball effectively on the ground. Of course, he has the 1 touchdown.
And when you're able to move it as effectively as you've described, that leads to finding a way into the end zone, and now he's just trying to do it for a 2nd time. And, of course, with that comes additional yardage.
Yeah, looking for additional yardage, and again, that 2nd score here in the 3rd quarter. 3 yards the gain there, 2nd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Final minute now of the 3rd quarter. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And he's going to be swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line. They couldn't contain Deshaun Hand that time as he gets home for the sack. And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from your guy trying to throw the football.
This is caught. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about.
Pass interference. Defense.
And yes, they want the points, so they will decline the penalty. No question there.
You don't think they spent a couple seconds mulling over what the penalty
I don't
would do
even
for
know
them?
why they asked the sideline.
Not at all. When you put the ball in the end zone on a takeaway, take the points and keep moving.
They'll give it to the fullback up the middle. And he will bowl his way in there for the 2 points.
That makes the score Giants 38.
I guess when you're hot, you're hot. I mean, I would just go ahead and take the extra point and move on, but apparently they've got something to prove. Almost feels like something was said this week, and they wanted to make sure that they laid it on them in this game.
Rigoberto Sanchez set to kick off.
Sanchez now, he'll kick it away following the touchdown. Fielded near the back of the end zone. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line.
Their own 25-yard line.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
Break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line.
Hurts.
Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. Calling a loss of 2 on the play. And it'll be 3rd and 10.
3rd down.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And he can't get away from the pressure. The Giants get there.
A loss of 7 yards.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Fielded at about the 28.
A nice punt, but a good.
And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And Charles, we are in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is where you and I have to fill a little bit. You want to regale us with old stories of your childhood in New Paltz, New York?
I don't think anyone wants to hear that, but this is a perfect time for us to start listing MVP candidates, right? The best teams we've seen so far this year. The best.
Got a man, it's caught at the 6-yard line. And he takes it all the way down to the 3. It's a big-time play there for the G-Men. 56 yards. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball.
And he's got it. Touchdown, Giants. From 3 yards out. And the Giants have got it on cruise control. So another score there. Often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
Well, they are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. Now whistles here and a flag down. I think a Giant jumped early. Well, that that changes things, obviously. They can elect to bring the kicking team out now and try it from the 20 if they want.
And I wouldn't be surprised at all if they did exactly that. Going for 2 from the 7 versus kicking it from the 20, I like my odds better with my kicker.
So now the Giants will once again go for 2 here.
Conversion.
Late game offense.
This certainly feels like they were wanting to go for 2, but weren't really sure they should go for 2. Do we, don't we, do we, don't we? And guess what ends up happening?
5-yard penalty.
That's right. Now you probably line up and kick the extra point.
The Giants will again come to the line here and try for 2. Jones throwing for it. And it'll be intercepted. Tre'Davious White with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Eagles nothing. Rigoberto Sanchez set to kick off.
Sanchez now, he'll kick it away following the touchdown. Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this 4th quarter. A throw left side to start out. That's complete. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. Nice way to start the drive. A gain of 12 and a first down.
Nice game there, partner, but you and I both know that won't do anything for the final score. They're not going to win this one. Right now they're playing for pride and fantasy points.
And just to erase that goose egg, nobody wants to be shut out. Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down.
4 yards on the pickup. 2nd and 6 at the 40-yard line.
The throw over the middle taken in. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. Good work after the catch. Going to net him 23 and a first.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 25. And he'll bring this all the way up to the 45-yard line. Yet another mistake after the interception there. And, gosh, you look up at the scoreboard, they just got to be thinking this one cannot get over fast enough.
It certainly can't. And also what happens when you get this big of a deficit, you're supposed to make all the right throws, right? You're supposed to try and obviously get the ball to your own guys. But being down this big, you also take even more chances. And in this situation, that hasn't paid off for them at all.
On the other sideline, jubilation and laughter. They'll try and run some clock here with Barkley. And he tries to keep the legs churning, but he's going to be stopped behind the line.
2 things to watch. First, his strength and being able to break out that initial contact. But at his size, once you slow his momentum, it's hard for him to get it started again and end up tackling him behind the line of scrimmage.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Back to throw. Jones airing one out for Boyd. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Tyler Boyd, the intended receiver. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down.
When you look at the scoreboard, you'd think they'd be pretty comfortable right now with this lead, but these guys are absolutely not going to let up. They want to increase their lead, and they want to do it with a big play. Unable to connect in that attempt.
Now Jones on third down. He'll air this one out for Boyd. And that is going to be pulled in one-handed. Wow. Boyd. As that lead just swells and swells. Look, this has been dominance in all three phases, offense, defense, and special teams.
So don't we have to give a lot of credit, not just to what we've seen today, but the preparation in advance, coaching staff, commitment by the players to the game plan, and being ready to go in this one? You're exactly right. Clean sweep. And, boy, they're going to celebrate this one after it's over.
And on the other side, this is the game film you just flush and never go back and review.
I know we could sit up here and dance around it a little bit, but going for two in this situation, somebody doesn't like someone else. There's no doubt in my mind.
Well, what they couldn't see is you lean back in your chair and you went, yeah, that's not a good decision. They didn't get it, though.
Yeah, I don't think you can just say, well, my kicker's hurt in this moment. No. Okay.
22-yard line.
Philadelphia's offense ready to give us another look. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points. You feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. Looking left sideline, incomplete. The surprise second-round pick, Sean Bunting there to get a hand in.
That was well played, but that was also an example of a corner who understands his coverage, realized he had support behind him, and can be a little more aggressive in the shorter zone.
And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off at the 39. Well, partner, I got to tell you, I'm trying to think of something positive to say for this offense, but I'd have to be a spin doctor for that one. This has been a tough performance to watch.
And I think it's hard at this point to actually identify what's really gone wrong. I guess the catch-all is everything. Doesn't sound like real sharp analysis, but I don't have much else for you.
And the scoreboard just lopsided, and it's been ugly from the get-go. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Now it looks like he'll throw here. He'll rifle this one, and this is caught inside the 5. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. That one good for 37 yards. Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles, that certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long, and I would say that going along with that has been confidence, because even if they had the right coverage.
And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Well, there's just about a minute left in this game, and they're still taking it into the end zone. And you know they could have taken a knee there, but they decided to play this one all the way out. And I think their philosophy is, we're going to give you everything we've got. If we just go ahead and take a knee now, we're actually showing you disrespect that way, like taking pity on you. They're not about to do that to their opponent.
They'll give it to the fullback up the middle. And he gets halfway there, down to the 1-yard line.
That keeps the score.
So nothing fancy there. That was just a fullback dive. Defensively, they were ready for it.
They were, and I think that surprised the guys on offense, because handing it to the fullback, well, you don't do that very often, so that's a tendency breaker. And I think they just wanted to say, let's just go straight ahead. As you said, nothing fancy. Everyone move someone out of the way and let the big guy work. Didn't get it done, though.
At their own 23-yard line.
The Giants defense getting ready to go here. They are holding serve here at home. The fans were into this one. They did what they needed to do.
And right now I'm just cupping my hand to my ear and listening to the approval that they're getting from the home crowd right now.
That's actually true, by the way. He was physically cupping his hand to his ear.
A job well done. Exactly what you want to accomplish, though. Let's face it, we talk to every coach in the league. We want to take care of our home games, establish home field superiority, win at home, and they're going to get that done.
Roughing the passer defense.
Maybe a frustration penalty there because he's picked them apart.
They've tried their best to get to him and haven't done it successfully. A penalty as a result of that hit there.
So now a fresh set of downs, 1st and 10 after roughing the passer. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And the giant rush gets home as down he goes. Jadeveon Clowney picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
And it's 3rd down.
So a victory here for the men in blue, the New York Giants. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one. And that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, off a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory. So for the Giants, they get win number 10 on the year as they move to 10-1. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Houston Texans. Meanwhile, for Philadelphia, they've fallen out of things now as they sink to 3-8. And they'll have a quick turnaround as they're back in action Thursday afternoon at around 3:30 Eastern for the traditional Thanksgiving Day game in Dallas. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.
Thank you.